Good morning, Spurs fans. It's Wednesday morning, and this is the first ref watch on Thfc Till I Die of the season. It's going to be a weekly short show just discussing any refereeing controversies, VAR controversies that there were in the Premiership the previous weekend. I suppose we've got to say this weekend there wasn't a whole lot of controversy. There was a couple of things that maybe could have been done better. But it would seem to me there seems to be a change in attitude regarding VAR. The VAR officials seem very reluctant or doesn't want to change the on-field decision. There was a couple of things happened during the games at the weekend that I felt possibly VAR could have intervened and changed, but didn't, and let the referees' decisions stand, which I think were a little bit dodgy in both cases. But we'll just have a quick rundown on all the games and who the referees were. It started on Saturday morning at lunchtime, Ipswich versus Liverpool. Tim Robinson was the referee, and nothing really of any great significance to report there in that game. The same with those who shall not be mentioned from South London playing Wolves. Jarlath Gillette, the Australian referee, was there. He's pretty good, nothing there. Everton Brighton, Simon Hooper. Now, this was a bit of a controversial one in so much as Everton, as you know, I think there's a regime against them for VAR decisions and other things like financial fair play and points deductions. But there was an issue at the weekend in the match against Brighton, in which they were heavily beaten, by the way, when the referee went over to look at the monitor, and the people from the other side of the pitch who were looking over his shoulder could see there was nothing on the monitor. The monitor was blank. So whatever he was looking at, he didn't see, and gave his decision on his own bat. He didn't give it because he couldn't actually see what the problem was. So that Everton fans were up in arms about that, as we would be if it happened to us, you know. Newcastle versus Southampton. Now, this is one of the controversial games of the weekend. Fabian Schär, the Newcastle centre-back, was sent off quite early on in that match for an alleged headbutt. Well, it looked to me as if the two players came together. They had a bit of a disagreement. They went head to head like two deer with their antlers held head to head. There wasn't much forward movement, but the Southampton player went down as if he'd been hit by a 150-mile-an-hour express train, which was absolutely ridiculous. He totally overreacted, play acting. He's the one that should have been sent off for simulation, but instead the referee sent Schär off. But again, the VAR official did not overrule the referee's decision, where I think he possibly should have. That was definitely not a sending off. Forest and Bournemouth, Michael Oliver, nothing to report there, really. West Ham versus Villa, another one. Tony Harrington was the referee here, and I don't know if you saw that match, but in the first half, Villa were all over West Ham, really were all over them. Scored a goal, could have had 2 or 3 more. A bit like Tottenham, really, in the Leicester game. But anyway, early in the second half, there was a challenge in the area by our number one Villa player, Matty Cash, who none of us really have much time for, seeing as he crocs a Spurs player every time he plays us. He connected with the ball, but his momentum took him through the West Ham player. Now, this is when the referee gave a penalty immediately, and VAR did not intervene where they should have, because he got the ball, and there was nowhere else for his leg to go, really. And that one should have been overturned. As it happened, West Ham equalised, but Villa went on to secure the win late on, which was quite deserved. Then on we had Brentford versus Crystal Palace. Again, a 2-1 win to Brentford, the home team. Again, Palace had a goal disallowed by Edouard, which was marginally offside, to say the least. Now, VAR did intervene on this one, and they decided he was offside. I don't know if he was. He looked level to me. So it's been a bit controversial. Palace fans not happy, as you can imagine. Chelsea, Manchester City, pretty much could have been the flashpoint game of the weekend. It wasn't really. Anthony Taylor refed it, although I don't think the Chelsea fans were too happy with his performance. They named him Manchester City's man of the match after the game. Not too much in this, except that Nicholas Jackson was offside. Now, he didn't. He was lazy. He could have easily took a step back and been onside when that goal was scored, but that's Jackson. He's not a very good striker. So Anthony Taylor really got to that one right, I think. And then on Monday night, nothing really to report in the Leicester Spurs game. I thought Chris Kavanagh had quite a good match. He dealt with the Bentancur injury quite well. I mean, I must say, I credit the Sky the way they handled that. They didn't show a replay. They didn't show any, the only thing that I was a bit annoyed at that the Leicester defender, Faze, you know, the guy with a bushy head, he was laughing his head off during the what was going on, which I thought was a bit insensitive now, and he should have copped on. And as for Jamie Vardy, having a go at the Spurs fans and Cristiano Romero as he was going off, that guy is a tramp. Sorry, he just is. And I think Christian Romero will store that one up in the locker for the next time we play them. And I would not like to be Jamie Vardy that day. That being said, he always scores against Spurs. And we really should have closed that game out. We should have been 4-0 up before that happened. But we weren't. But I don't take with all the hysteria about Spurs and sacking Ange and whatever. First game of the season, we played some brilliant football in that match. Okay, we didn't keep it going for 90 minutes. That will come. And I must say, I was very impressed with some of the substitutes. Archie Gray and Lucas Bergvall really, really did well when they came on and steadied the ship. Anyway, that's the ref watch for this week. Hopefully there'll be more controversy the next time I do it. But until then, keep the faith, and as always, come on you Spurs.